Let's move on to the final main topic today. And our final main topic today gets sent in to us from Gabriel Blume, who writes, "Greetings and salutations, John. I just read that Sony is going to re-release Spider-Man Far From Home with some in-theaters extra footage on August 30th. Apparently, it is director Jon Watts' version of the film. Disney did something similar with Endgame. A lot of people were angry with the extra stuff in Endgame. How do you think the entire fandom will think of this? Thanks, and bring on the filthy." All right. Thanks a lot for that. And yes, I still hate the fact that people use the term re-release when this movie is still in theaters. It is not a re-release, folks. It's still in theaters. Anyway, that aside, we are getting Spider-Man Far From Home, in their terminology, getting a re-released at the end of August with some new footage. This is the official word coming to us from Variety, who writes, Sony Pictures is re-releasing Spider-Man Far From Home with a new action scene. Starting August 29th, a new extended cut featuring 4 minutes of never-before-seen action sequence will be released in theaters in the United States and Canada. The film will also be available in IMAX and large formats in select locations. So, right away, guys, we're seeing one major difference between this stunt of a re-release than what the stupid stunt re-release of Endgame was, which is this is actually a little bit of a different cut of the movie. Like with the Endgame re-release, it was the exact same movie 100% from start to finish. The difference here is this is actually a slightly different cut. Now, I don't know if this is only 4 extra minutes or if they're just referring to the 4 extra minute scenes, but even if it's only 4 minutes, it's a little bit of a different cut, so I have no problem them calling it that. But I will tell you what, this is bloody stupid. This is stupid, and I like this movie. I like Spider-Man Far From Home quite a bit. I saw it multiple times in theaters. I might go see it again. But now I'm not. I might have gone to go see it again, but I ain't now, just on principle, because this is fucking stupid. You know what this is? I said this before when they did it with Endgame. I will say it again. This is the movie business trying to dip into that ridiculous, almost industry-killing nonsense, this DLC, this downloadable content thing of video games. Like, oh, you paid us to see the movie? Great. Wait a little while. Hey, you want to see a little something extra? Pay us again. It's like, fuck you. I hate this. I absolutely hate this. And look, I hope nobody goes to see this. I hope 100% nobody goes to see this. And I don't think a lot of people will. Plus, how dumb do you have to be? Why would you spend another $20 to go see this movie when this thing's coming out on home video in about 3 weeks anyway, where you're gonna, if you're a fan of this movie already, you're probably gonna buy a home video version of it. And guess what? These extra minutes are gonna be there anyway. Why pay again? I hate this. I hope people avoid this like the plague, because I want a message sent very clear to these studios and to the theaters and to the distributors. We will not stand for this bullshit. If you've got a version of your movie that you want to play to the audience, play it. If you've got your real version of it, don't pull that crap. Because if we go and support movies like this, if we go and support stupid, dumb stunts like this, what's going to happen is more and more studios are going to do it, and you're going to, they're going to put out a 105-minute version of the movie, but now come see the true version of the movie at 121 minutes. That's the real vision of the director. And more studios will start to pull this BS. We as film fans have got to say, no, fuck off. We are not going to go and support this. Don't pull this bullshit with us. We're going to stay at home. Thank you very much. And maybe, if you're lucky, I'll still buy a home video version of it, because even though I'm a fan of this movie, you just pissed me off. Anyway, this is nonsensical. This is so idiotic. I really hope fans will stand together and say, we will not take this kind of bullshit, because this is the beginning. This is them sticking their toes in the water to see how much we'll bend over. That's what they're doing. They are testing us to see how far we will bend over, whether we'll apply the lube ourselves and then say thank you afterwards. That's what they're testing to see. We've got to show them that, no, do not start down this path. This is stupid. This is horrible. This is not friendly to the audience. Don't pull this shit. Give us your movie. Give it the version that is the true version of it. Take our money when we go to see it, and then you say thank you to us, you assholes. Anyway, Rob, you're hearing about this situation? Have you bought your advance tickets already?
Well, with the right girl and the right tools, bending over can be quite fun to do. I can just, I'm just going to say that. A little femdom play. Anyway, that's not for this show. But I look at it this way, John. It ain't show friends, it's show business. And what this is, Spider-Man Far From Home has become one of Sony's, I think it's the most successful film. It passed.
In history.
It passed Skyfall, which was their previous most successful movie. And I think this is sort of a victory lap. And the great thing is we don't have to go. I don't think this is going to become the norm because it's problematic to do in the first place. I mean, it takes time and effort and money. And I think, to goose the home video release, it's good for, I think, the overall business. It gets people into the movie theaters. When people are going to movie theaters, that means the movie business is strong. They buy their refreshments. They go to the theaters. They pay money. Everybody's happy. Now, do I want to have this happen all the time? No. But for a movie like this, which is an event for Sony, it's their biggest grossing movie ever. I think in a way, it's a way to have a little bit more fun with Spider-Man, a little bit more excitement. I think it's something to give back to the fans. I want to see this movie, and I want to see the action scene because I loved Spider-Man. I saw it twice, and I just hope they better release this extended version on home video. That's all I'm saying, because that will piss me off if I can't get it.
Aaron, with somebody who has the love of spiders that you do, what do you think
I'm there.
What do you think about this quote-unquote re-release strategy that they have here?
Well, I don't know why they're not just calling it Far From Home Director's Cut. Like, why are they saying re-release? Just say it's the director's cut. That's clearly what it is.
I don't even believe it is a director's cut. Right. I think they're just slapping in a deleted scene.
Do we know the new running time with the added 4 minutes?
If it is only 4 minutes, we should be able to determine that just by seeing the current running time of the movie. So, but I'm not sure what the grand total is right now.
Do we know if it's Endgame running time?
Oh, no. Like Spider-Man Far From Home, I think was right around the 2-hour mark.
Oh, okay.
I was lean and mean. It was good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because, I have an issue with when I go past 2 hours, then I have to wet my pants. So wasn't going to look forward to doing that again. But, I hear you, John, and I don't disagree with what you're saying. I do think it's kind of a shit move to give you a little bit and then say, just kidding, we're now releasing the real thing. It's one of my big problems with why it's the reason why my iPhone has this kind of back that is so cracked and jacked up is because I never want to buy a new iPhone because I'm pretty sure the new one will come out 5 days later. But that being said, I also agree with Robert in that this is not something that's done all the time. I don't think that it ever will be the norm because it is so expensive. It is very expensive to make those prints. It's very expensive to do the P&A. So I don't see this being an ongoing issue. But yeah, I also have to have you sitting next to me so that you can tell me when to cover my eyes because there might be a spider in the movie Spider-Man. Which I don't want to see.
I think you two are being innocently naive. Innocently naive, I say.
We're drinking the Kool-Aid of mass corporate movie.
If you don't think for a second that if they do this little stunt and they make an extra $18 million, if you don't think other studios aren't going to go, whoa, if you don't think that they're not all watching this right now and doing that and that they won't move on this as well, I'm telling you they will. I'm telling you they are testing us to see how far we will bend.
But let me ask you this. Is it any different from back in the day when a movie would be released on home video and then a little while later the director's cut would then be released and you'd have to go, we'd already purchased it, we'd all have to go back and buy the new one because if you love this movie, you want to see the director's cut. It was the same thing back then.
To a degree, but what I'll say was, the way I see the difference here and where I see similarities is this. The difference is, once you move from the theatrical experience to home video, that's different. You're asking me to buy a different product now. And if you can do things to entice me to buy that new product, the home video as opposed to the theatrical thing, I'm down with that. Like, I love that kind of stuff. But one of the things I hated back then, and still do, is when, all right, guys, come and buy Lord of the Rings on DVD with all these great features. Yay! And then 4 months later, now guys, come and buy Lord of the Rings on DVD again for 25 more minutes of features, which Robert Meyer Burnett may have worked on, and if so, then it was totally worth it. And then, like another six months later, now come and see the 4-hour cut of Lord of the Rings. Now that stuff annoyed me. And I kind of equate what's happening here to that practice. See, I didn't mind going out and buying the home video stuff, and if you entice me with special features, extended cuts, blah, 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 awesome. But then it was the double dipping, like Rob, like you were saying, where now we're going to put out another version of the DVD. And
right, that's what I'm saying.
I hated
this
that.
is the same thing.
Hated that.
Okay.
Absolutely hated that. But I don't know. So guys, listen. What do you think about this? Are you of the more calm, rational thinking minds here of Aaron Cummings and Robert Meyer Burnett thinking, oh, hey, look, this isn't a big deal? Or are you a little bit more frantic about this like me, saying this is this industry? It's not a coincidence that Endgame just did it. Now we got Spider-Man doing it. And you think this is the industry just testing us to see how much we'll take and say, thank you, sir. Jump down to the comment section below and let us know what you think. All right.